So picture this. You're a sales rep. You've got a hot lead talking about AI workflows and regulatory compliance. They're ready to move forward with procurement approval, and then they ask you to fill out a vendor form in triplicate, notarized by a CPA. Oh, and in French. Today's episode starts innocently enough. Chris gets a cold email about AI development tools, and honestly, it sounds pretty reasonable. But you know how this goes.
Hi there. I work with a dev shop that's been building software for clients for 8 years. Lately, we've been helping teams get more out of AI tools on actual projects. The teams we've worked with have gone from spending weeks on features to getting them done in just days. Is this something your team is actively trying to figure out?
You know what? That actually sounds useful. We've been having exactly this problem with AI outputs that look great, but then fail validation. Actually, yes, you're spot on. We've been wrestling with this exact issue on our platform. Our CTO keeps saying the AI outputs look great in demos, but then we spend forever tweaking them to meet validation requirements. Do you have case studies from regulated environments specifically?
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Instead of answering Chris's very specific question about regulated environments, our sales rep decides to completely ignore it and push for a meeting.
The teams that get the best results from AI aren't the ones with the best developers. They're the ones who figured out how to give AI the right context before it writes a single line. That's the whole thing we've built around. Worth a quick chat?
He's not wrong about the context issue, but he completely ignored my question about compliance. Yasmina, what do you think?
Yasmina gets that look in her eye. You know the one.
Let me try being more specific about what we need. Maybe mention Matilda from Ops. That's exactly the issue. Context. I talked to Matilda yesterday, and she's really interested, but she needs to see some specifics before we can move forward. Could you put together a brief overview of how you've handled regulatory environments? She's particularly concerned about audit trails and validation documentation.
Now watch this. Instead of addressing any of the specific regulatory questions, our sales rep sends a breakup email.
Last follow-up from my side. If your team ever feels like they're not getting the most out of AI on client projects, that's exactly the problem we fix. Reply anytime. Happy to talk whenever it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. So the main issue is our AI keeps generating code that looks perfect, but then fails validation when we run it through our computer system validation process. Quick question though, can you handle the vendor form first? I know it seems backwards, but Matilda won't let me schedule any vendor calls until that paperwork is done.
That makes perfect sense. Please feel free to send over the vendor onboarding form, and we will get that completed first. We have experience ensuring that AI outputs align with strict regulatory standards.
And now Chris drops the first shoe.
Perfect. I'm attaching the vendor form now. Oh wait, actually Matilda just informed me there's been a slight update to our onboarding process. Apparently we need the form completed in triplicate and notarized by a certified public accountant. Also, we'll need your company's risk assessment completed in both English and French, since we have operations internationally.